Hey guys, welcome back to T-Rod Whiskey. And tonight, what we're going to be doing is comparing these three sherry finished whiskeys to see if price really does matter that much when finishing, or if you can get a superior drinking experience for a lower price tag. So first we're going to start with this 1776 Pedro Jimenez finished rye whiskey. Now, these were actually discontinued a few years ago, but the specs on this one are pretty good. It's coming in at 100 proof. Now, I believe at the time that these were being made, James Pepper Distilling was sourcing their rye whiskey from MGP, having it transported to their Kentucky location, where they then finished it in their PX Sherry barrels for, I don't know, it's an undetermined amount of time. But let's see, batch PX 10. I don't know exactly what that means. I do think this is a really cool bottle. The black glass, the gold wax, I dig it. Especially at 100 proof, it's really, really good for around that $45 price mark. Second bottle we're going to be looking at is something that everybody should be recognizing, which is a Sagamore whiskey sherry finish. This one comes in at 106 proof. This one I believe is also MGP sourced rye. Transported to Baltimore, where Sagamore is located, and then they have it finished as well in, let's see, Pedro Jimenez Sherry Casks. Doesn't say how long it was finished. It's batch 1A. Yeah, it doesn't say for how long it was finished, just that it's finished in PX Sherry Casks, 4-year-old rye whiskey. Yeah, spent an additional 18 months. Okay, so when it's all said and done, this is a 5.5-year rye whiskey finished in PX Sherry Casks. This one comes in at about $75, $80, depending on where you're at. I know in my state, I think $74.99 is MSRP. And then last but not least, we do have the Middle West Bourbon cask finished in Spanish Solera Sherry Casks. This is coming at 97.25 proof. It is a 6-year bourbon, and it is distilled in Ohio. So this is the only one of the three of these that is distilled, bottled, matured, finished, all that jazz in-house by Middle West Spirits. It's been a minute since I've gone back to this one, but this is a batch number 4 bottle. I really do enjoy these Middle West bottles. Their secondary finishing series is exceptional. I believe they also just came out with their Napoleon cask finish, which very much looking forward to getting my hands on one of those because I'm expecting very, very good things. So let's go ahead and dive into the first one. So I don't have any numbers or letters or anything. I'm just kind of doing this by the Glencairn. So this is the Evan Williams Glen. And on the nose, a little bit of some red fruits there. Some raisins, kind of what you would expect from a sherry cask finish. There's a little bit of a youthiness to this almost. I'm getting a little bit of ethanol on it. I don't know why that would be, because most of these are at least 4 to 5 years old or older. But okay, so I'm thinking that that's one of the ryes. I want to say this is the Sagamore. I don't exactly know why. It's got some rye punch to it, some red fruits, like a cross between a cranberry and a raspberry almost. A little bit of vanilla on the back end. But yeah, that sherry's definitely front of mind throughout the entire sip. I was drinking a little bit punchy, so I'm going to say this is probably the Sagamore. This is good. I would definitely drink this any day of the week. Okay. Moving on to glass number 2. This is the Sunshine Glen. Okay, so right away, not getting the bright fruits off the nose. I'm getting more vanilla, caramel. Vanillas and caramels. This might be the Middle West Spirits, the bourbon. There's a faint plum note. See how it tastes. Give it the old Matt Porter SJ first. Okay, definitely drinks a bit more mild. Yeah, I'm going to think this is the Middle West Spirits one. Definitely less punchy, no spice to it. Much more subdued flavors. Not bad, just not as in your face. Mm. Almost like a caramel dipped pomegranate, kind of. There's a raspberry note there, too. Some raisin. Then on the back end, oak. Some oak and a little bit of caramel. Mm-hmm. That's not bad. I do prefer the intensity of the first glass just a little bit more, but this is, if I was going for longevity, I could drink this maybe all day. Yeah, that's really good. I think that's the Middle West, which would mean this should be the 1776, if I'm not mistaken, but let's see. Okay, the nose is a little flat on this one. Like oak and maybe just a little bit of, there's like a red fruit something there, but I can't identify what it is. Super oily though. Super oily. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's going for a sip. Mm-hmm. Okay, definitely thicker, more viscous, coats the mouth a little bit better. There's a little bit of a nutty quality to this. Tiny bit of spice on the back end, which makes me think it might be one of the ryes. But this could actually be the Middle West one, just because I typically don't get like a nutty note on the ryes. But it's really good. It coats the whole palate, the side palates especially. I'm getting some like a weird custardy note, but then also just char and barrel oak. Mm. So right on the front of the palate, some of those brighter, fruitier, mixed berry kind of notes, but then it's just a little bit of white pepper, oak. Yeah, this, I don't know if this is a rye or not. If this is a rye, this is a very subdued rye, very mellow. This might be the Middle West Spirits bourbon then. I'm gonna go back to glass two. Hang on, let's do a little palate cleanser real quick. Glass two, this is the Sunshine Glen. Okay, I'm going to change my guess. I think this one is the 1776, and then the last one is the Middle West. So I'm going to say Sagamore 1776, which I'm holding now, and then Middle West. I mean, if this is the 1776, this is good. I would actually prefer this to last year's Midwinter Night's Dram, and I think that was 3 times the price. I know that's port finish. This is sherry finish. Someone's going to call me out and say they're not the same. I get it, but for $100 swing in the price, I would take one of these all day over one of those for $150. Okay, let's revisit the first one more time. Yeah, it's like caramel covered red fruit, caramel covered. I don't know. I definitely believe this is the Sagamore. This feels like it has the most proof to it. So yeah, I'm going to say Sagamore, 1776, and then the Middle West. So that's the order I think they're in. Well, let's go ahead and check it out. So the first one is Evan Williams Glen. So that is the Sagamore. I was right on that one. then the 1776, and then the Wild Turkey was the Middle West. Okay, so I hit him head on. I did not rig this. My fiance, as you guys can't see, but she is 10 feet away right now. She set this up blind for me. I was able to pick those all out. So that's awesome. In terms of the price, which is really what we're here to kind of talk about, I do not regret for a second buying any of these. I think they're all fantastic. As far as a budget banger, the 1776 knocks it out of the park. I love it. I have 2 backup bottles. This one is maybe halfway gone. It is discontinued, so when I do see it on the shelves, I still grab a bottle just because for the $45 or $50, I want to be able to have this whenever I want. And it does kill the Midwinter Nights Dram from last year. Batch 9 was really good. Batch 10 was terrible. Batch 11 was a significant step back to form, but I still think that this is just as good as those for a significantly smaller price tag. That said, if you guys have seen the Speakeasy Tour video, you will know that we have quite a few Sagamore bottles because I enjoy them significantly. They are my fiance's probably favorite distillery. We haven't been there yet. But she loves the double oaked. She likes the sherry finish. Actually, that's what she's drinking right now. Everything that comes out of Sagamore, she's a big, big fan of. And then Middle West is about 2.5, 3 hours drive from where we're at. I haven't been there yet, but I have every one of their cask finishes. I think that this is a perfectly acceptable price point. I know $100 is a lot for a bottle. You get a really good presentation. It does come in the tube. It is 6 years old. It is obviously finished in a sherry cask. Spanish sherry casks are expensive. 6-year-old bourbon is expensive. It's just the cost of doing business. The package, the presentation, everything you get, it just screams premium bourbon. And I really think that's what you get on this. It's not as in your face, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. If you're looking for something that's a little bit classier, a little bit more subtle and nuanced, this is your gal right here. This is fantastic. I would never turn down a pour of this, and I would like to keep a bottle of this in the Speakeasy at all times, if at all possible. That being said, if I had to rank them from best to worst, well, we're not even going to go down that rabbit hole. I think they're all very good. For the money, 1776 definitely takes it home. In terms of my preferred drinker, I'm going to say it's the Sagamore, just because it's a lot easier for me to get a Sagamore than it is for me to get a Middle West. For the Middle West, I have to drive minimum 90 minutes to go get it, and then I have to hunt around at different OHLQs just so I can hope that they might have one on the shelves. Not to say anything one way or the other about it, but I think just because it's a little more convenient, the Sagamore edges out the Middle West just a hair. But that's all I got, guys. Let me know what you think. Hopefully I've been able to shed some light on a few of these bottles for you. And, make sure you smash that subscribe button, leave a like, throw a comment down below. Do you like the video? Do you not like the video? Anything you think I could be doing better? But otherwise, I will see you next time. Cheers.